Greetings, people of the internet. The men, the ladies, but of course, especially the ladies. I don't know, I guess, fine, of course, I love the males as well, but hello everybody. So, how is everybody going on today? Now, if you guys know anything about my philosophy sessions, and I do this quite every now and then, my goal is always to educate only, just pass on the things that has been bugging me for a couple of days. It's never been now, I tried my best to distance it from my personal issues, of course I have plenty of issues, just like everyone else has to do, but issues aren't not entertaining. If I want to talk about serious kind of intention, then I will literally go ahead and tell you guys that yes, this is a serious topic. Please listen to me very carefully. This session has never been about that, This session has always been about you guys just having your point of views and me having my point of view, and then we just share ideas together. But then, of course, most people when doing these sessions tend to not chat often, and another problem arises when people every time, because this is not a very good idea for a stream, because people tend to come and go every time, which means I have to keep re-explaining as to what my intentions are and why I'm talking about this. And it's a bit of a struggle, but I like it, I enjoy it, but maybe some of you may not enjoy it. I'm just saying that it does get hard sometimes. Okay, that was completely meaningless to what I was trying to say. But what I was trying to say was, it does get difficult every now and then when I was trying to make as much distance as possible between my real life situation and also the talk I want to talk about. This is probably the hardest one that is gonna affect what. Challenge that very aspect of this whole video or stream, depending on where you're watching, I guess. Thank you for waiting for me to drink my water like a normal human being. Anyways, today was actually, my plan was to talk about two different topics, and it's gonna go depending on how much time we have left. But I want to get your attention to the title of this stream. As in the fact that selfishness and selflessness. I don't know if I spell selflessness properly. I do not care. Philosophy is not about English being right, okay? It's about never finding the right answer. And boom, perfect example right there. And I know there's not a lot of viewers right now. There's only a single viewer right now. Hello, please do follow me, etc. I don't always do this, don't worry. It's just what I like to do every now and then. So they're I don't know, it's just I want to just get some conversations going. But if you guys want to just hear what I have to say, that is fine as well. That is absolutely fine. Now, as I was saying, okay, let's just begin with this. When, this is going back to my time when I said there's a difference between accepting and being ignorant, or there may be even similar in that regard. I highly recommend you guys check out that stream. It was amazing. But it's you can say it's a carry on from that experience, okay? It's a carry on from that very topic itself. Some people would say and because I ask this question to myself all the time, if you guys know me for a very long time, you guys know for a fact that yes, I want to create that image of me, and this is where it gets kind of personal. I hope it doesn't, but it's just if you guys know me, there are times when I keep telling you guys, look, I don't want to be nice. Being nice is not cool. Being selfless is not cool. Okay? And to a certain extent, I still abide that. But I'll tell you the exact reason why. But for now, just hear me out. That was the image that I wanted to go for, the bad type, or the incomprehensive, ungrateful kind of, I don't know. That kind of personality was technically what I was going for. But if you have seen any of my stream where I talk to strangers and then have some, even as far as having advice sessions, I want to just check if I can hear myself. Perfect. Yes, perfect. Everyone can hear me. So since there are times when I even go out of my way to give advice, sometimes not even during a stream, but just people have some personal problems that they just want to talk about it. Sometimes I can't help myself but actually do it. Now, in my opinion, that's me technically being selfish. That is me being selfish. And if you guys have checked out any of the advice session that I have, I don't even call it advice session because like it's not even a series. But like if you have ever seen me like give advice to someone like that, like the first ever video, like one of the most successful streams I ever made was about like giving advice to somebody actually. But like I emphasize the fact that no one cares what you do. Okay, only you care about what you do. The only person that can like tell you what's good for you is you, you know? And it's like a carry on from that. Once again, like every philosophical idea is like linked to a certain extent. But like where do you technically draw the line between you being too helpful and like not thinking about yourself enough, you know? And when I was talking about this with somebody else, like they couldn't, like, they told me about like is it okay, when I just asked them, is it okay to be selfish? They just said like I think selfish is quite a strong word to put it, you know? And I just asked them again, okay, what can we say when I want to like think about myself more than others? And then he just says, oh, I don't think there's a word for that. And that's quite unfortunate because like I think selfishness is a perfect way to describe you thinking about yourself over others. And because that is literally the definition of selfishness, you know? And by the way, please just put down your chat opinion on the chats right there so that like, yes, I read all of them. Even if there's only single viewer right there, I will watch I will listen to all of them for you. Anyways, please follow me. Okay, but back to the topic. When you're like where the hell was I? Anyways, yeah, and it's just that because like, well, selfishness is like people tend to not want to admit it, but like it is just really, really important, you know? Thinking about yourself over the others, like showing the fact that like you care about yourself more than others. Even going out of your way to say reject other people's like thoughts, their like well-being in order to like protect your own well-being first. And people, that has a very like, and you might not see this, but that has a very negative kind of sense, you know? If you go and see like any movie, for example, it's normally the selfish people who like think about, who like try to like benefit themselves over the other people that like dies first, you know? Or like gets like brought down way before any other heroes do, you know? And they're most likely the villain as well. And because, well, people don't tend to see the difference between like selfishness and being greedy, you know? And I personally think that both of them are extremely important because, well, if you don't greed, then you don't want anything else, and which means that there's nothing for you to like gain from doing anything, you know? But like if you're being selfish, well, you're thinking about yourself over other people. And then like, yes, that can be a negative aspect, as in like if you can help them, why wouldn't you? But at the same time, you know, people keep telling people, when people tell people, when people tell others to not be selfish, they tend to forget the fact that like it should be all up to you, you know? The reason that I help people, the reason that I give advice to anybody on like streams when I technically don't have any reason to, and I could like, if there's anyone pop out onto like my Omegle sessions, go check all of them out because they're all fantastic. Like Omegle sessions, and then like there's people like struggling with their lives or like having like issues with themselves. I help them not because like I genuinely like want to like out of my wholeheartedness want to like help them. It's just because, well, I gain something from it, you know? I gain something from like helping others. Yes, and it can be as simple because my reason is that I gain something because I feel morally better. I feel happy that I helped someone for today. I feel great that I changed someone's life for the better. I feel great when someone compliments me for like I'm having gone through that. And if you guys don't think that is selfish or greedy, and I'll just have to say you're wrong because that is like the found very definition of selfish. Because whatever happens to any of you, whatever happens to me should not matter to anybody, you know? Sure, if you can help, if you want to help, great. Please come help me by following and liking my. I'm just kidding. No, I'm not kidding. But if there is like times when like want to help out and I don't feel like it, that should be technically up to me. So this is the question that I am asking for everybody who is one person right now who is on my stream right now. Yes. Where do you draw the line between like you just helping other people for like only sole purpose of helping that person, and where do you draw the line of like being selfish, you know? Because like some stuff that people want you to like think that is easy to sacrifice for the greater good of others may in fact be very important to you. Like for example, what example can I give that is not personally related? I guess like by not feeding like my turtle Sam right there, then like I can donate that food to charity. Like by sacrificing one turtle, I can save like hundreds of thousands of people. I guess. I'm sorry, I'm pretty sure everybody here can like make up their own example if they wanted to. That is completely up to you. So like yeah. So where do you draw the line? You know? Because like I've been talking a lot of this with a lot of different people, okay? And some of them also give the idea a boundary, the idea to like when you can say no and when you should say yes, you know? And ultimately it comes down to the fact that if the problem with like just accepting everyone else's like requests and just saying okay to everything is the fact that eventually psychology wise apparently you get sad and depressed by not gaining anything from it, you know? And eventually that person who is supposed to be helpful starts being like damaging to other people, because at the end of the day sad and depressed sorry, I ate something just now. The fact of the matter is sad and angry people tend to not be very helpful to anybody, you know? Apart from me, obviously. I am like all the time. Apart from me, I guess, because I make the most out of like all my anxieties and depression, which by like talking about these kind of topics with you guys. So I guess that's a benefit for everybody. I don't know. So the point of the idea of boundary is that you should say no to the point, or like just like not take any requests to the point that like you don't start, you know, damaging the thing that was supposed to help others, which in this case is you, you know? If you start like you know, just like keep being nice to the extent that like you try, and that the more you try to be nice to others, the more damage you do to yourself, to the point that like eventually you just pop and then like it cracks and then like you can't be a help to nobody, including yourself. Then yes, I think it is about time that like you start thinking about this sweet idea of being selfish. But it's hard to be selfish in like our modern day world where like we are very, very interlinked with other people, you know? Because at the end of the day, like going way back to the idea, not way back, I made that stream recently, but like about the fact that like how much power you have to like reject something. Like just like I said, it's very linked to it. It's very linked. So like when you can just go and see the video that I made about 1984. That's a good stream as well. Every one of my streams is a good stream. But like but yeah, since we don't have much power as an individual, we are prone to be asked to do something that like, you know, that you don't think is right. So yes, at that point you're being selfish. But like technically for the greater good of mankind, there are many things that many of you probably had to sacrifice in order to like, you know, just fit in. Selflessness is not a quality that is desired. Selflessness is a mandatory aspect that everybody needs to do to a certain extent. Because let's face it, none of us can live alone. None of us here can survive by ourselves. This computer probably had like 500 different hands like touching it and molesting it until like boom, it reaches my hands to make good streams for everybody. Good streams for everybody to like witness, I guess. So yeah, I guess that's a benefit as well. So at the end of the day, you can't live alone. So there's definitely like the barrier, like again the boundary where you should sometimes say yes, sometimes you say no. Now the point of the question is, where is that line? Where is that line? Because you can't just say, yes, you can definitely say, never mind, you can say that like, well, it's different to everybody. That is just saying that like you don't know either, which is fine. You can say that nobody knows the answer to it, which is the whole point of this whole thing anyway. But like, well, when we go back to like the topic that we talked about when we said that when is it right to stand up for yourself and when is it not, well, chances are you are gonna be seen as selfish no matter like what kind of opinion you have. Because let's face it, like thinking about yourself over the other people is to a huge extent very controversial. Like that's the whole argument behind socialism versus like capitalism. Like greed versus like selflessness and like selfishness. And that has not been like covered. That has not been like reached the conclusion list. So what chance do we have in a single 1 hour stream, you know? Which is fair enough. Fair enough that you can say that. But at the same time, it's a very important question to ask yourself individually. There are many times where my selfish actions, selfish desires has like got me isolated from like other people, other kind of like groups or society in general. Even right now, maybe you can, my stream right now, where like I'm pretty sure there's not a lot of people who talk about this like in a stream, right? So like if there is, don't follow him, follow me instead. I'm just kidding. So there's gotta be like, I'm trying to like be all this and stuff like that. But this stream also, it's not about you guys to a fair extent. It's about me to most of the degree. And yes, I'm being selfish, but like I think that it's okay to be it's just my opinion at this point, but like just like this is my level of selfishness, you know, my selfishness to like my desire to make a stream, for example. If it helps you guys to like you guys like to like enjoy, gives yourself some enjoyment, fantastic. That's even better than I thought. But at the end of the day, like if I like, sure, there's 19 followers right now. Do any of them come back to like see me? No, but I don't really care about it. I don't really care. They can come back whenever they want. Of course I will be pleased. But there's my line of drawing my selfishness. Like if somebody were to like just tell me to, for example, be quiet in a place that's like most people not talking, or some people saying that some people asking someone to like stop smoking even though it's not a non-smoke area. Is it wrong to be just selfish and then just ignore that person's request? And by ignore, I don't mean just like plain or just shut up. I do whatever I want. I can't believe I said that. So that's not the point. No matter what happens, humans think about everything, you know, the people think about everything. Sure, you might be better at ignoring than other people, but chances are, in order to ignore some other people, you have to think about why you're ignoring that person in the first place, you know? You made that like unintentional, intentional, like subconscious thinking, subconscious idea that like, yes, I do this all the time, yes. I don't know why I said that, I'm running out of things to say, but like, it's just that, how do I put this again? Selfishness, you know? Is it wrong to reject other people's desires for you to like make sure you take care of yourself first? Because like, I guess you can see it as a different way. Chances are, if you like listen to everybody else and then make sure that other people are more happier than you. I mean, not happier than you. Chances are there might be chance that you can become happy just as much as they become happy. Because at the end of the day, you are technically, by the definition of like democracy is concerned and by society standards, you are doing the right thing. But doing the right thing can also mean that you decided to start to just restrain yourself, you know? Restrain your like this own desire. You restrain the fact that like if you had been selfish at that moment in time, you probably would have been like taking care of yourself, and you would have known for a fact that you have decided to take care of yourself over others. And you might even be proud of the fact that like you're brave enough to like, you know, like go against these kind of peer pressure, in order to like just think about yourself first. And I think that to a certain extent can also relate to like all the bullying incidents that I hear so much about. By the way, that was my finger trying to like that wipe my saliva off. We like to have fun, yeah. But it's just that it's like it's like it's like your desire to want something, you even though you know for a fact that it's probably gonna hurt someone else. And selfishness, to a certain extent, like always gets linked to that, to a certain extent, because you are like physically, like mentally, like telling yourself that like I am willing to, like reject the other people's idea, reject other people's desire for my own desire. This in my own will, my own life, I have decided that is more important than what other people want from me. And then I think that's probably the 90% plot of all movies these days. Like that stars a princess, or I don't know. Like there are things that people want from you, but there are things that you also don't want to give to them. Don't want to give to them unless you get some kind of benefit from it, which is fine. As long as you get something out of it, like something that like makes it worth you being selfless for, then that's great. I think that in my opinion, that is the best kind of like selflessness, mutual like benefit. I don't know. I don't believe in things like karma personally. Like if that happens to you, great. But I just think that like it needs to be more obvious that if you're gonna help somebody, they need to help you back to a certain extent. Otherwise, you have, and maybe I'm wrong here, but I'm wasted your effort. Because the best thing about kindness is not the fact that it's right or wrong. It's the fact that it spreads. It's supposed to spread from that person to you to that person, and eventually, probably, hopefully, back to yourself. But that can take years or lifetimes or multiple lifetimes, or if you become immortal, then you're immortal lifetime for that to happen. And at the end of the day, you're probably gonna have less than what you have given, because helping people is hard, helping people, anybody, is hard. And just doing something for other people, knowing for a fact that you're giving up on your personal desires is even greatly hard, greatly hard. Aha. Yes, it is. But it is definitely the challenge that everybody has to think about every now and then, because by all accounts, nobody really wants to just not fit in and not try to understand society in general, for you to make sure you have a safe and lovely time in this earth planet that has filled with water and large amount of viruses that can be somehow contracted by eating bats. But yeah, it's very difficult to know when it's okay for you to be selfish or selfless. And at the end of the day, even if you decide one way or the other, chances are you're still gonna think about whether or not the actions you have made was correct or not. The action that you yourself has given, the action that you have chosen. It goes back to the fact that maybe there's no such thing as right and wrong choices. Maybe it was just you. But if there's no such thing as right and wrong choices, which we'll come back to in another philosophy session, maybe, then perhaps, then being selfish is not bad, not a bad thing. Not even sometimes bad, but most of the times not bad. And I guess that also depends on the level of selfishness and that. But if for example, if you're gonna attack somebody to hold your rights to do whatever the hell you want, or your desire to do something, that may be maybe drawing the line for me personally. But it's just that I just sometimes find selfish people to be much more braver than selfless people, because they know for a fact that they're gonna go against the whole thing that they never have to mention. And some of these things are not even hard for them to change. Sometimes they just wearing a uniform, for example, or just giving $1 to your charity or something. But at the end of the day, if you decide to not want to do those things, and you just say no, I don't want to, chances are the people who want you to donate your money, wear a uniform, wouldn't care really about what you want, because they're not you. That's the thing, they're not you. Only you are you. You have your own problems. They have their own issues, you know, they have to deal about. Maybe he's a businessman, for example, who depends on the image that like all of the businessmen here are dressed up like 1900 white people. I don't know. That was just what my intentions were when I was first told to like wear uniforms, for example. Once again, I'm not trying to be personal here. I'm not trying to be personal. Okay? So it's very interesting. It's what I'm trying to say. Very interesting. Because like I can't tell. I really can't tell. You know? But when your like desire like contradicts other people's desire and wants, and it just collides together like I don't know, what collides together? My face with my own fist. Ow! Yes, like just like that. Very good example. Then to a certain extent that you guys, neither party can really blame the other for like desiring something else, right? One party wants you to do this to help other people, so he thinks he has the moral high ground because, well, he's technically doing the right thing. While you, on the other hand, who is like thinking about yourself and like standing up for yourself, most likely, is like also the bravest because, well, you're standing up for yourself when nobody else is supporting you. It's basically like going to a court without a lawyer, you know. I think that's the perfect way to explain it, you know? That's a perfect way to explain it. You're standing up for yourself, you're trying to like prove to everyone that no, this is for me, no one else. So you guys can do what you want, I'll do what I want. But it also goes to show as to like how like what kind of damages like an interlinked and globalized, you know, like nation can, like a world can have, you know? Sure, we can achieve much more like products and then also do much more progress and stuff like that. But like the more people like start like interlinking with another, which I personally think is not a bad thing, but like the more they do it, the more they probably have to sacrifice their own like desires in order to like satisfy some of the people that like they don't agree with. You see this in politics all the time, you know? The globalization against like conservatism, you know? And all these like people who are like telling you to like donate your money to charity and making you feel bad, even though you know for a fact that you can't afford to like pay for your food and also like help other people like in need at the same time. And the debate goes from on and on, you know, because this will be a good way to like summarize a lot of the points on the selflessness side. Look, everybody needs more help than they can possibly like achieve, you know. I need help, you need help, everybody needs help, you know. And if you guys can like get as much help as possible and like get other people to do stuff that you want to do, you are gonna be extraordinarily successful. Extremely successful. Why? Because you have successfully convinced as many people as possible to like fight for your cause, you know, work for the cause that you believe in, or sometimes you can work directly for you, you know, which is the case sometimes, and that can be just for like anything from like charity events or like large business corporations, just people just grouping up with you in school or something like that. Chances are, yeah, if you have done that, you're gonna be really successful. But at the same time, you're gonna find out that like, and that's the desire for other people to be selfless because that's what everybody desires. Group of people that can like work together for what you believe in. But that same person also at the same time don't want to give up most of their ideologies to like fit into other groups, for example, you know. And who can blame them, you know? They have their own ideologies. So like they have, at the end of the day, the only way they can get along is either by, you know, one of them giving up or like just both of them just going their separate ways. Because even the most selfless people who are saying that I'm gonna do this for the greater good, are all linked to their selfish desire to achieve those goals that force everybody else to try and be just like them. Their quote to quote selflessness, the line they drawn that you probably don't share the exact same way, you know. And that is basically what I mean by this, you know. Like, when is it okay to be selfless? When is it okay to be selfish? Should you be like selfish even if you are like a multi-billionaire who don't who thinks to himself that he deserves all this money. I deserve all my money. I worked hard for it. I want to be selfish. If you want to go and pay those homeless people whatever, you go ahead. I'm fine. I can do it. Peace out, bruh. Is that wrong? Is that wrong to do that? Or is it wrong for people to desire those same people to like oh, you don't donate, you don't tip your waiters? Oh, you want those people to starve? No, I want my money. I want my money because I know for a fact that I need it. You're rich. You should give them some. Hey, screw you. Why don't you give them the money then? Why don't you give them the money? I don't have no money. I can say the same thing. Well, that debate goes on and on and on. Who should help? Who shouldn't? Like, who deserves to help? Who shouldn't? Who don't deserve to? Is there such thing as who don't deserve to help? I would argue, I guess. I don't know. Some people say like prisoners shouldn't be allowed to help other people because they have committed a crime. So, is that right? Is that true? Okay. There's still one viewer. Hello, one viewer. I cannot believe you have lost this whole stream. I'm not sure. Can you just put down something on the chat so I can tell you're not bothered something, please? I don't even know if you're actually watching this. Maybe it was me that's watching this. I don't know. Ah well, I'm happy either way. I am happy either way. Should I like talk about something else as well before we move on today? Maybe I should maybe I should stop this stream and then like remake a stream and then just go for 30 more minutes about something else. Actually, you know what? I'll just do that next time. Anyways, that is what I wanted to talk about to you today. I hope everybody has enjoyed the stream. I hope everybody has like whoever watches it in the future, the past or present or whatever, have all like witnessed some of this. I don't know. I hope none of you have to think about this too much because, well, it's just philosophy. Don't think about it too much. But anyways, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. And please, if you're watching this on YouTube, please leave a like and like comment down below what your opinion is. And also, if you're watching this on stream, like this lovely viewer here, to follow me as soon as possible. My goal is to reach 100 followers. 100 followers. That is my mission. That is my desire. That is my destiny. But anyways, yeah, please do support me, and yeah, I hope to see you guys again soon, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care, everybody, and goodbye.